Harriet, you've just shared with us your own personal experience and how that has really compelled you to speak out about sexual assault, equipping other girls to speak out. Do you want to just say a little bit about that, and also how you felt that this message might also equip girls to call out the bad behaviour?
I just think it's very important to understand what consent firstly is, and just know the boundaries that you set and understand how to set boundaries. When it first happened to me, didn't know it even happened. It took several years for me to understand and even admit to myself that it happened and how to, I guess, cope with it. I just think it's really important for girls to understand that, especially for men, these are the things that they're being taught is what's right, and they do think they're quite entitled. Even in relationships, they think just because you've said yes, I want to date you, means that yes, I want to have sex with you. But it's a whole different thing. It's about consent. Even if consent isn't considered sexy, it's key to everyone's life.
What do you think it will take to change boys' attitudes and behaviours? Like, what needs to happen for students, teachers, parents, the community? Why do we keep seeing and hearing these stories over and over again? Like, I know just this week we've had in Queensland hundreds of stories, and they're getting worse and they're getting worse younger.
Yeah.
What needs to change?
I don't think they're called out a lot on it. Boys, I've heard of boys in school, making sexual noises, doing sexual things to girls, and they're just not called out upon it because mainly they'll get ridiculed, and they'll be seen as a lad, and schools just aren't equipped to work with it. They don't know how to, and they're not really ready to admit that there are boys and that there are people in their institution that are doing these things that are hurting women, and they're not ready to face it.
When you gave your talk to the boys' school about your experience and the reality of your experience, how did the boys receive that? Did you get some positive feedback after, or was there pushback?
There was definitely no pushback, which honestly I was quite surprised about. It was just a lot of really overwhelming kind of praise. I was called brave and strong, and with a lot of boys, it kind of resonated with them because they'd never heard of someone so close to them who had experienced it, because it's seen as such a thing to be ashamed of. It's not seen as something that you would stand up to your school or even another school and just say out and proud. It's very ashamed, and I think boys need to understand how common it is, and also how impactful it is on someone's life, whether that's a boy who's experienced it or even a girl.
Thanks so much for sharing with our supporters, Harriet, and just more strength to you. You could just be I think you will be just such a critical element of the cultural change that we also desperately need to see. So thank you so much.
Thank you.